It's a chance to kind of move away from the fast-pacedness of everyday life, to leave the rest of that behind for a while. With my life in general being very busy and quite chaotic at times, it's nice to have a space where I can come and actually just slow down, you know. Photography really has been part of my life since I can remember, really. When I was using cameras for the first time, I think the main thing I felt was wonder and kind of excitement and just genuine like surprise, like this magical experience, because it's not like anything else. When you see an image appear in front of you, it is magical. Like, science has made this art, and I just think, isn't that incredible? I don't think that has ever left me, to be honest, that like amazement at, this actually works, and how does that work, and this didn't exist a few seconds ago, and I took this photograph and now I can see it and hold it in my hands. It's amazing. My dad was a photographer. He was in the RAF and he sort of learnt the trade there. So at this time we only had analogue photography, and he basically turned my bedroom, my tiny little box bedroom, into a camera obscura. So we closed the curtains and he got like a very small glass out of your glasses, put it in the window, and it meant I could see the opposite side of the street upside down on my bedroom wall because of the physics of light and how that works, which is just like magical, and it blew my mind. So we're going to go and have a little look in the little vintage photography darkroom. I'm in Studio 3. So I can tell you a little bit about little vintage photography and the darkroom itself. I set it up because I really wanted to create a welcoming space for everybody. A darkroom space that was inviting for everybody to try out analogue photography for the first time. So I've got a setup here with the dry side, what you call the dry side. This is where you have your enlargers. And then wet side over this area, which is where you actually create the prints. So once you've shot your roll of film and you've processed it, this is a place that you can then come to bring your negatives, you know, whether that's your original archive, maybe that's family photos, or these are ones that you've shot recently, and we can put them into the enlargers and start to make prints. I've got the light pad over here, so I often get everybody to bring their negatives over to lay them out on the light pad and then to have a little look at them. So you want to actually like view your frames to decide, rather than trying to print up 36 frames, you're going to choose which one you like the best. Time behaves very strangely in the darkroom. It's like its own little time zone, because you have seconds and minutes that seem to last hours when you're waiting for an image to expose or a print to develop or fix. When we switch off all the lights for the first time and you really feel like what it is to be under the red light, it's a great way of you shutting the door, you're shutting out kind of like everything else, and you can really focus and feel like that meditation and that kind of like state to be able to focus very solely on something. I know I struggle to keep on one thing at a time without getting distracted, and there aren't distractions in here because you can't have your phone out, you can't have other things going off, you know, like alarms, messages and things. Okay, just remind me of that. A byproduct of that is that you can become very kind of like focused on the thing that you're actually doing in here, which is looking at individual frames, making choices about that, and then spending time perfecting one thing at a time. Somebody who's been really kind of influential to me in terms of analogue photography is a person called Anna Atkins. She was one of the very first, if not the first, woman to create a photograph in a book. She used the cyanotype process, which is basically one of the oldest photographic processes we have. So you mix two chemicals together, you coat it onto paper or onto something porous, you place objects on top, expose it to UV light, which is daylight, and then once it's finished exposing, wash it in water, and you're left with a blue and white print, or a blueprint, basically. It's beautiful, like dreaminess, because it's in a 3D object. If you've got something very, very flat, you can see like this, you get all this beautiful detail, really precise detail. After I graduated from university, I then became the technician and ran the technical department for John Moores University for about 7 years. So I was teaching students cameras and sound and editing and light. So going on from there, there was a reshuffle and there was a restructure, and I was out of a job. A couple of years before that, my mum had also passed away, and this is kind of like the starting point for little vintage photography, actually, because I was very conscious about a want within me to move away from that digital rat race that I saw like barreling away. It was sort of taking me away from everything that I really loved, which was hands-on, handmade, something tactical, something physical, and a way of kind of capturing memories and that idea of legacy and things that losing my mum in my like late 20s had all brought that up as well. I think like the idea of how do we capture people, what's the essence, you know, and how do we hold on to those, you know, people that we love when they're no longer here. Most of the time it's through photographs. My business itself has changed as well, changed course over the years. So I always knew that my love was really for education and for sharing what I do with people. So I just wanted to make sure that people knew that it didn't matter, you know, like how much technical knowledge you had of it. It's about creating a safe space and somewhere that people could come and feel comfortable to experiment and have fun and fail, because that's really important. If you don't feel that you're comfortable enough to fail, you're never going to be able to learn and improve and progress. My goal was always an ongoing kind of like rolling goal, I suppose, which is to share the knowledge and the skills that I have with more people so that they can learn how to shoot and to process and to print in the darkroom, really. Over the 10 years, I've definitely met a lot of people, done lots of workshops and sent those skills kind of out into the world. So I think so, yeah, I have achieved that goal. There are so many different ideas and kind of inspirations and things going around in my head at any given moment that I don't think I'll ever achieve all of them. But that was the main goal, really. Never stop experimenting. Don't feel like you have to have the best equipment to make photographs. Go and have fun with it, you know, and try it out and use this as a way of slowing down and of giving yourself some opportunity to explore the fascinating world, really.